Hi there, Luke here with episode 18 of our Eurotrip 2020 travel series, where we take you along on our journey in the summer of 2020 through the countries of France, Luxembourg, and parts of Portugal. If you watched last episode, episode 17, you'll know that we were in the areas of Lyon, followed by Annecy, where we were just starting our experience of entering the French Alps region of France. After enjoying a really relaxing, tranquil morning, just walking around Annecy one last time, we proceeded to our rental car, where we drove to the area of Chamonix. On our way to Chamonix, though, we did decide to stop in a neighboring town called Morzine. This particular town is known as more of a ski resort type town, so because of the combination of it not being ski season as well as COVID affecting things, so it's kind of a nice time to explore it for people like us who like it when things are nice and quiet and not with too many tourists. We parked our car right in the center of town and we proceeded to take a ski lift up the mountain that is right next to Morzine, and we enjoyed a short hike that offered great views of the town below. After our hike, we drove to our final destination of the day, which was Chamonix. Chamonix is famous for its beautiful alpine mountains, as well as being the setting of the very first Winter Olympics, which happened in 1924. This region is also known as the Mont Blanc region of the French Alps. You can stay in the town of Chamonix, but we found it was a bit more expensive, so we stayed in the slightly more affordable region that's right nearby of Les Ouches. Les Ouches is a small ski resort type town that is right next to Chamonix, and they have a bus that travels between Chamonix and Les Ouches. So we traveled that way, and our Airbnb was really lovely with great views of the surrounding area, and we got a free bus pass for the 2 days that we were staying there, so we didn't have to worry about paying for our transport between our accommodation in Les Ouches and Chamonix. We dropped our bags off at our Airbnb, and then we proceeded to take the bus to Chamonix. And from there, we walked around a bit through the old town and just experienced what this town had to offer. We decided to do a smaller hike nearby at a trail called La Floria. And from this trail, you got some pretty nice views of Mont Blanc in the distance. Probably the highlight of the hike for us is that at a particular point of the hike, you come across this really cute little outdoor bar restaurant area where you can enjoy really great views of Mont Blanc in the distance and just enjoy some drinks. You can continue further on a hike if you want, but we personally decided that we were really happy with the experience that we had had thus far, and we decided to head back down and head back to our Airbnb in Les Ouches. We decided to continue the festivities because we just loved our room with balcony that offered really great views of the mountain. We decided the next morning that one of the best ways to maximize our experience in the Mont Blanc region was to take one of the first cable cars that they offer up to the Mont Blanc viewing areas of the mountains. We specifically went to the Aiguille du Midi particular range, and we had a great experience arriving before most of the crowds did. Do be sure to bring a sweater though, because it gets cold. There's a lot of snow up here, even when we were there in September. But I do have to say that this was probably one of our favorite experiences in all of France. We just could not believe the dramatic landscape that lay before us in terms of the snow-peaked mountains, and just everything was so perfect. We could not believe it. We've traveled to other parts of the Alps before, but every place that we go has something unique and special, and no matter how many times we've seen it, we still find ourselves breathless when looking at these majestic views. When we were done visiting the various viewing platforms, we decided to just enjoy a coffee and take in some of the outside views. In order to have reached this point, we had taken 2 different cable cars that took you to various elevations. So on our way back down, we decided to stop at one of the lower levels, but not the very bottom, and decided to do a little bit of a hike, where it was a little bit warmer and wasn't as snow-covered because it was a lower elevation. The short hike we did was to Lac Bleu, which is a really nice short hike that gives you some nice scenery and finishes at this Lac Bleu, where we decided to have our picnic lunch looking at the lake that had this beautiful mountain peak. Our day was not done yet though, because we proceeded to take the cable car back down to the town center and then proceeded to do some more mountain exploring. This particular journey into the mountains was a bit different though, because rather than cable cars or hiking, we decided to take a scenic train. In order to do this, we walked to the Chamonix Mont Blanc train station and then proceeded on one of their scenic trains. The train we did went to Montenvers-Mer de Glace train station up in the mountains. And honestly, this ride alone is worth it. Even if you don't do anything else at this particular area, even the ride to get there and the ride back down into Chamonix is so beautiful that it is worth it in and of itself. Once you arrive, there are also even more stunning views from a viewing platform right at this particular train station. So do take your time and just enjoy looking at this beautiful scenery right in front of you. However, the views here are not the only attraction to enjoy. Another reason why we decided to go to this particular area because of the ice grotto, which is this amazing set of ice caves that you can explore. The ice grotto is a man-made ice cave that was carved out of the Mer de Glace glacier. This glacier happens to be the largest glacier in all of France, and it's actually pretty neat to walk around this particular ice cave. We had been in ice caves in other places like Iceland before, but we found that the way that the lighting was and the different reflections of the ice, it was a really fun, very attractive place to visit. After we were finished exploring the ice cave, we decided to head back to Les Ouches. We actually had to change our Airbnb because the Airbnb that we had stayed in was only available for the one night that we were there, and we went to a different Airbnb. But this one offered just as great views and had a bit more space. So in some ways we actually really enjoyed this Airbnb as well, and we decided to just relax the rest of the evening, enjoying a really lovely sunset dinner on our balcony. What a great way to finish up our time in this particular area. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. It really helps us keep this channel going. Be sure to stay tuned for our next video where we continue to take you through the French Alps region. In our next video, we'll be taking you along on a scenic drive to Vanoise National Park as well as Termignon. Be sure to stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Bye!